I'm joined right now by Abhi, who is the Executive Director of the Queensland office. Abhi, welcome. And of course, what an amazing night tonight we have celebrating 40 years of ICN.
It is indeed. 40 years of achievement, 40 years of contribution to the Australian economy, 40 years of supporting the local industry. There's a lot that's actually gone into these 40 years, and we're extremely proud of what we've achieved.
And of course, there are 7 state offices in which ICN have a presence. In terms of Queensland, can you tell us a bit about the environment right now up there for small business and the kind of projects that are coming forward for members of ICN that you're assisting?
Queensland's very active in the renewable space at the moment. So Queensland government's released the Future Energy and Jobs Plan, to which we contributed. They've also released the battery development strategy. We've just released a battery database through our work in ICN Queensland, which indicates the capability of the supply chain that can supply to the battery industry. That was released by the Minister for Manufacturing back in Queensland. There's obviously work continuing in mining, oil and gas. Hydrogen is another key aspect that we're working on. And obviously defense. So even though we're industry agnostic, but we're supporting all industries at the moment, and the supply chain is very, very excited about the opportunities that lie ahead. From an ICN perspective, Queensland has a very, very large share in the database, being a very large state. So we're pretty much close to 1/3 of the national ICN database in terms of the number of suppliers, and we're working with them actively to support them and let them have access to opportunities that exist out there.
There's a lot of talk right now, both nationally from a political standpoint, about renewable energy. Do you think this is the real future for Australia and real future opportunity for SME companies in Queensland and all states?
From a personal perspective, yes. It's obviously the clean fuel, and it's obviously contributing to the environment and not polluting it. So from that perspective, I personally feel that is the future, and I think the role that ICN Queensland or ICN as a network is playing is helping companies transition from other industries to this industry. There are interchangeable skills, there are interchangeable capabilities. So companies that have been traditionally supplying to oil and gas, mining or defense, they absolutely have the capability to actually do it for renewables. At the end of the day, as an example, concreting is concreting. So it doesn't matter if you've been doing it for a specific industry, you can do it for a wind turbine as well.
Of course.
So we're absolutely doing our level best to support the industry in doing that transition, and Queensland government's actively supporting us in helping to do a supply market analysis or a supply chain map. So we're actually doing the database scan and feeding that information to Queensland government and nationally as a network to enable them to drive those policies and work towards the benefit of local industry.
Excellent. For a final question, can I ask you, what do you love most about working for ICN?
Interestingly, I'm one of the longest standing employees of the network. So I've been with ICN Queensland for almost 15 years. So I joined as a project engineer, and then I've moved up to the level of executive director. I'm very, very passionate about local content, local companies getting their fair chance to compete for major projects, and the jobs that we create through that process, it is amazing. To give you an example, one of the satisfying statistics for us last year was ICN Queensland in the financial year 23-24 contributed or helped facilitate $1.8 billion of wins or contract successes to Queensland companies for Queensland projects, which was obviously a part of the $5 billion that ICN as a network has helped local businesses achieve. So looking at those numbers, looking at your contribution to the economic development and the economic prosperity, it is a huge satisfaction.
Fantastic. Well, an amazing effort. Make sure you enjoy tonight. Celebrate 40 years of ICN, and thank you for your contribution tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.